Alright. Hello, everyone. Sorry for that little delay. Dog is being a little bit restless, but he's alright. So, anyway, welcome back to another stream. Hope you're doing well as always. Yesterday on our playthrough of Alundra, what did we do? I remember the Fire Manor. I mean, we did a lot of exploration because we finally went through the Fire Manor and got the Fire Wand. So I was kind of going through different parts of the map, trying to get to places that we couldn't access before. And... oh, no, we did... well, okay. So at the beginning of yesterday's stream, we were told of Giles having a nightmare, so we went over to his house, and he committed a little bit of domestic violence against his sister because he had transformed into a scourge beast and was fighting the beast within himself. So he eventually ended up succumbing to his nightmare, but he did kind of die as a human, and this kind of marked a turning point for the way that Melzus was interacting with his followers, and Mia hypothesized that part of the reason the nightmares became worse wasn't necessarily to kill the villagers, but it was designed to kill Alundra and or Mia, so that way Melzus could continue to use their powers through him instilling fear into them in the belief that they would, pray to the gods to make the nightmares and whatnot go away. And with the appearance of Alundra and Mia, that's just kind of thrown a giant wrench into his plans, because if Alundra and Mia have the ability to end the nightmares, then the villagers don't necessarily need the gods anymore, so that means less prayer juice for Melzus. So, yeah, after Giles' dream, Mia just randomly told us about the Fire Manor, and then we went through the Fire Manor, got the wand, explored, and I unlocked the portal system. I stumbled across the Ice Manor, but I decided at that time not to go in just because it felt like I could have been skipping ahead. But I think I'm just going to go ahead and go there at the beginning of this stream because it seems fun, and sometimes it's a little fun to sequence break. There's a pretty good chance that we won't be able to go all the way through anyway. So, all right. Enough rambling on from me. Fast Eddie, welcome back to stream. Mazar Imam, welcome in. And Scowleezy, nice to see you again. If I was going poop, like, the stream wouldn't have even started. Thoughts on snow? What kind of snow? Damn it. It's been a while since I've done that. So snow is really cool if you don't have to deal with it directly, by which I mean you don't have to shovel it. That's kind of really it. I generally like the cold, although that was kind of more the case when I was younger. As I've gotten older, I've become more susceptible to it. The white one? Oh, okay. You would have said the same thing. No, but for real, like the way that YouTube queues up going live, the stream would have already started. So, like, I had to start the stream, but my dog is being a little bit restless. I was trying to get him settled in. Scowleezy forgot how unique Dark Souls 2 is. Alright. So we've been continuing to save in the third slot, I believe. Lost in Merg Woods. Okay. Every time you die, you're like, man, this game sucks, and then you keep playing. So, I didn't even really feel that way about, what's it called? Like, dying. I didn't feel like it sucked sometimes, as much as it was, just kind of like frustration, which I guess those, like, feelings are very similar, but my biggest issue with Dark Souls 2 wasn't even, like, an outright hatred, because I could have dealt with that a bit better than what had really happened, which was just kind of me not feeling it or wanting to turn the game back on. And in many ways, I think that's worse than just outright hating a game. because that's like eliciting an emotion, a response or some sort. But I just didn't have the motivation to turn the game back on and go through it a couple times. Like 2 times I didn't get through Dark Souls 2. Without Scholar, the first sin. So you guys are just spamming the emotes tonight. Hey Joseph Ryan Banks, thanks for the comment and welcome into the stream. Nice to have you. DS2 is the best, it wrecks people. Yeah, so this is a pretty good Zelda clone, except this one has a more mature story, which is part of the reason I like it. So let's go ahead and clean off this thing and see if we can solve this puzzle. When the day emerges from shadow, the night is washed in light. Those born from the darkness shall perish in the warm glow of the eternal light. It's kind of weird. I don't necessarily know if that gives me an order to work with, or if we need one at all. That's you with the emotes? You're a Bloodborne guy? Okay. Well, they're certainly going fast, aren't they, Eddie? Those born from the darkness shall perish in the warm glow of eternal light. Wait. Yeah, I feel like this is one of the ones where I just don't understand it whatsoever. Alright, maybe I won't mess with that. Because unless there's like a hint somewhere else, I do not understand. The Merg live in the Northwest Forest. I personally believe they're just misunderstood, much like me. So that was the same dialogue as last time. So I did talk to him. Oh yeah, I never visited the graves. So spoiler alert for you guys who are new into chat, or like the game for tonight. There's Nadia. Jess, Artisan of Souls. Oi, will he be missed? Okay. So that was one that we haven't read before. So yeah, I think I said it earlier, but I may have cut myself off. Tonight I am deciding to go through the Ice Manor first. This is not the way. Where is it? Maybe this will connect. Oh, there's a chest that I missed. The Spring Bean. Okay, I definitely haven't gone up there. Have I gone in this cave? I must... Maybe not. No, I must not have. Okay. If it's herbs, that kind of makes sense. I may have gone in here before. You like my Fear the Old Lord series? Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I should work on more videos, but it's a little bit time consuming. I've got some ideas that I want to go over. One kind of being about the minor Erd trees. It's kind of a drag. Writing a script, editing it, and all that stuff. Getting the footage. Actually, I don't really mind getting the footage and editing it most times. Oh. Golden Falcon. Okay, I'm kind of glad I went here then. The best way to stay awake is to constantly eat food, and that is not true. Also, spicy candy is better than coffee. I could believe the bit about the spicy candy, but like, one of the better ways to stay awake, within reason, is to kind of stay a little bit active and exercise or stand up and like walk around. Because the more excited you are, the harder it is to like fall asleep. But it can be pretty rough if you got like really long shifts. Try it? No thanks. I absolutely hate anything spicy. Didn't mean to do that. Alright. So I don't think I've... Oh, no, I've definitely not been this way before. So this is above the cemetery. If I ever do an Odin video, you'd be thrilled. He's the one great one you'd love to see me analyze. So it's funny that you mentioned Odin. It's because he's obviously the most enigmatic of the great ones. So it's kind of hard to do a proper analysis. The gist of what I would say, in a brief summary would be that when people talk about Odin being formless, I don't necessarily think that means invisible as much as it is that Odin is probably liquid or blood adjacent. And what I mean by that is if you fill a glass with water, the shape of the water will fit its vessel or its container. And like water on its own doesn't necessarily have a shape. It's like whatever it's in, which gives it its form. So I think you might be able to say Odin is formless in that kind of way, as opposed to like invisible, like some people will compare him to like Murgo's wet nurse or the infant Murgo. And so whether or not Odin is like responsible for the beast blood, I think is a very open-ended question and one that I wonder myself. It wasn't Pinwheel. It was the DS2 Skeleton Lords. You still wreck them? Yeah, the Skeleton Lords stat fight was... It felt more like a battle of endurance than like a real boss fight. And no, I would definitely believe that Pinwheel is not the hardest boss for you. You'd like to think the real Odin is the friends we made along the way. Alright. So I'm pretty confident I don't actually... Oh, wait. I don't think I finished coming up this way and I fell down and then I went the other way. So I'm gonna try to not screw it up this time. So that's Torla Mountain. We haven't been there yet. So that's like one thing that I missed. I mean, I didn't necessarily miss this place as much as when I was trying to recount the areas that we haven't been yet. This is the one that I forgot, that I know of at least. So it's really just like the Frost Manor, the Merg Cave, and then this place, and the castle. Alright. This is like a strength elixir? No, a tonic. Okay. I don't know if that's going to connect. Whatever happened to Red G? Could you elaborate? You're Alfarius? Okay. Yeah, if you change your name and avatar, you may as well just be a completely different person to me. Oh, Redgrave. Okay. I don't know if he like still produces content, but I mean, to give the honest answer, which is going to be kind of an unpleasant one, is... Actually, I don't know the timeline of events, but I do know there's a little bit of controversy with, like, plagiarism and dealing with YouTube communities on a larger scale. And that may have impacted Redgrave's willingness to keep interacting with YouTube and, like, building things for an audience. He also got a lot of pushback for some of his videos and the Pale Blood Hunt, which I think, there should have been pushback, but I don't know if that actually really had an influence. But he still does stuff from time to time, I'm pretty sure. Like, I think he was on Sinclair Lore's, not stream, but channel. No, maybe not. I don't remember. I thought I saw his name pop up somewhere recently. Well, not like super recently, but in the grand scheme of things, compared to the 2016 kind of recently, but yeah. And I mean, he could also just have a life that he's dealing with. Alright. So, okay. Wait. Trying to, like, figure this out real quick. He discussed Odin with Sinclair? Okay, he did. Okay, so I wasn't misremembering that. You really liked his theories? You think it's mostly life stuff, to be honest? Maybe, yeah. Let me think about this. Feel like Sigurd when I just like that sometimes. Alright. Yeah, I don't think that would work the way that I'm thinking about it right now. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. So I really... Oh, okay. Get an LP for the Emperor? I'm not going to do anything for the Emperor. As much as you like Erden, you think Odeon sounds cool too? Yeah, a lot of people think it is Odeon, which kind of works for like the whole idea of him existing in voice. Because an Odeon is... Wait. Okay, I did step on it. Is, kind of like a theater, like a Greek word for theater or something like that, like an open space. You're an Alpha Legion guy? You'll be rambling about Berserk and FromSoft all the way through. It's all good. When I started this playthrough, I warned my prospective viewers that there's definitely going to be a lot of FromSoft related discussion. Because that's just kind of how it goes. Alright, well, I'll just start moving stuff and see if it works around. So that won't work that way, okay. I wasn't trying to push that. Oh well. Can't do it that way, which doesn't surprise me. So I'd already accidentally screwed up, but even if I didn't screw up, I think I've screwed up. Right, so that is there, okay. Alright, I will come back in. It's my roots, yeah. Thoughts on studying plant diseases? Like me personally doing it? Or just in general, because I mean, I think studying plant diseases is extremely important, and we probably don't have enough resources devoted to it, to be quite honest. Because It's really easy to overlook like a lot of stuff like that. And it can be devastating. So apparently there was a breed of bananas, the ones that are like the banana candy flavors based off of, like those bananas actually used to taste like banana candy, some of them. And there was a certain disease which more or less wiped out that variety of banana. So the current bananas we have in comparison just are apparently like a lot more bland than the original one. When I was in Hawaii, I meant to go and try the more exotic varieties of bananas, but I just didn't get around to it. Such is life sometimes, I suppose. All right, without horns, you have a good night. No, it's different than the plantain. I think it's called like the Cavendish banana, but I might be misremembering. Like Cavendish, kind of like the One Piece dude. Hey, Fast Eddie, thanks for the 3. Let's celebrate their 5th Super on a live stream? How do you do that? Okay, I think it's just okay, thanks so much. Oh, man. Maybe I gotta do something a little unorthodox. Would this work like that? Oh, okay, I think... I don't know how to get this back, but I'm just trying something for now. This is almost okay, but not quite okay. So maybe I should have pushed this up before doing that. And I could have had 3. I don't know. I don't think I think I have to not move the ones in the middle. Gros Michel, yes, or I don't know how to pronounce it because it looks French as hell. The current species is Cavendish. Thank you. Thanks, Eddie. All right. Moving that up won't help me. Or wait, will it? Oh, wait. So I think I do something like that. Okay. Fudge! I wasn't trying to push it that way. No. No, I lost my train of thought. Okay. What did I do? I pushed that one up. Okay. Obviously, this can be mirrored, but just for the sake of simplicity, I did this. I know what I did wrong. Okay. I need to push it the other way. Hey Chadwick, welcome into the stream. Banana talk. You get excited about bananas? And now what did I just do? Okay, push this to the left. Push this up. And then I'm going to push it to the right. Proud of myself. Yeah, this is one of those puzzles where it's like, man, I don't want to have to think through this. Especially like interacting with chat. It just takes a lot of focus to do both. Mazar sometimes wishes still that FromSoft was in those dark, gritty days of Demon Souls and Dark Souls where they churn out grimdark games. You never know. I mean, they redid, or like they revisited Armored Core, so I imagine they can return to that kind of style of game at some point. Is Elden Ring too hopeful in your eyes? I don't necessarily think it's about like hopefulness as much as it is just grittiness and darkness. So I feel like I kind of understand where they're coming from. Oh no. Did I hear about the possible Elden Ring DLC thing? I didn't hear about it exactly. I saw the rumors that there's going to be something because apparently the Elden Ring playlist got updated. Oh. On their official YouTube page, but I tend to be extremely skeptical of stuff like that because how many times have we heard about the Bloodborne PC port? How many times have we heard about Bloodborne 2? How many times have we heard anything about Elden Ring or Spellbound or its DLC over the years? It just... Yeah, I try not to get hyped. I mean, I don't even really get hyped at this point anymore just because I'm, like, so skeptical. So, the funny thing is, the other day when Elden Ring got a patch, they had to make a tweet about it saying that this doesn't actually include any game content. Just to alleviate people's hysteria, I suppose. I don't know what else to call it. Razar loves Elden Ring, but you personally love the Berserk-inspired environment of darkness and blood, guts and glory. Scally said it got a ghost patch or something that only happens to prep for DLC downloads. I strongly disagree because if the DLC were going to release anytime in the near future, it makes absolutely no sense to me that they... Oh, okay, I see. That they would wait to make such an announcement or release until after the holiday season. So, wait, I'm trying to figure out the puzzle in my head and talk, and I can't apparently do both. So give me 1 second here. I don't think this is going to work quite the way that I'd like. Can I make this jump? I can't tell. Okay, I think I could. Yeah, I should definitely be able to make that. Can I make this? Oops. No. Okay. So it doesn't make any sense to me that they would skip all the money that they could make from like holiday sales and not make that announcement in something like December. Okay. So if I can't do it that way, I'll just do it like this. Or like November. If it was coming out in January, it makes no sense that they would just skip all that free pre-order money for the holiday sales, is what I'm trying to say. You wish Prince of Persia came back? You hate Assassin's Creed now? Didn't Prince of Persia literally just come out with a game today? Like, unironically? Let me look it up. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown? Pre-order bonus, whatever. January 15th, 2024. I can't tell if you're trolling because it's, you know, YouTube chat, but yeah, there's literally, like, literally today of all the things. How strange. Alright, so apparently we might not be sequence breaking, but let's open this chest. Hey, we got the ice wand, which means I'm gonna go back to the desert and freeze the fiery pipe things. Ice wand blasts sheets of ice, charged by holding square. I was hoping I could, like, do a chill penguin type effect. Prince of Persia 2 is OP. Yeah, there's a brand new Metroidvania there's a brand new Metroidvania Prince of Persia. Seems to review well. Reminds you of the Strider 2014 game? Interesting. Might need to look into it. Like, I remember hearing about it and be like, oh, hell yeah, Prince of Persia, I remember that title. And then it just kind of fell off my radar. Because I didn't hear anything else about it. And then I saw, like, one thing earlier today. So Mazar's comment there. It's like, is this guy trolling me, or does he actually want it? So I don't think this way would be the quickest. What would be the quickest way to get to where we went? This one shouldn't be bad. Wait, no. Yeah, this does connect. Okay, this is the fast way. Alright, yeah, so yesterday we went through this area, and that's where we got portal access. Actually, I should go back to see if there's anything else here now. We need some new Ty the Tasmanian Tiger games. I don't think I've played any of those, or heard of them. Like, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, for whatever reason, just makes me think of Dizzy Devil from Tiny Toon Adventures, who's essentially just a, Did that one-shot it? Oh no, I just missed. It's kind of cool. Oh no, it just goes into the ground with it. Well, two shots it at least. It seems to be more powerful than the fire wand, perhaps. I don't go this way. I go down. Honestly, I really enjoyed the Super Nintendo Tiny Toon Adventure game. It was a pretty decent platformer for kids. I think the last level may have been a little bit maybe unfair for kids, like the way that its mechanics weren't super clear. But other than that, it was really respectable for, you know, a cartoon-based video game. Here we go, my weakness. It'd be nice if I could, like, dash and jump. Can I? No, it just slides, is what I thought. Yeah, it was purely a fluke that I actually made that jump yesterday. I mean, I replicated it, but there we go. It just gives me a lot of difficulty. Oh. Ooh. A life vessel worth. Okay. Tasmanian Devil PS2 game, probably trolling. Thoughts on spam? Do you mean like the food product or internet spam? Because I honestly really, well, I actually don't even know if I've had spam because my mom had to eat it all the time as a child, so she absolutely can't stand it. So because of that, it's not like I really was exposed to it as a child. The meat. Spiced ham. Spice and ham. So I personally have nothing against it, I just haven't had it. Or if I have, like, it wasn't, it didn't really, like, stand out to me. I've probably had it in Hawaii to some extent, because they really like spam in Hawaii. Yeah, back when Konami was a quality game company with the Tiny Toon Adventures. Fried spam slices are similar enough to bacon? Yeah. I've heard something similar, but... You eat when you're hungry? Don't most people? Use boomerangs as your main weapon. The bad guy was a cassowary? Wait. Oh, the Tasmanian Tiger games for the PS2? Okay. For a second, I thought you were talking about Dark Souls 2. I'm like, that weapon doesn't exist in that game. Alright, so was there anything else around here? I don't think so. Let's go see the Merg place. We're gonna go ahead and save. Sorry about that. Okay. This is kind of close to the Merg place, but I don't remember if I can access it directly from this location. Why am I so bad? Alright. Well, that's not what I thought. Okay. So I remember getting through the, like, opening gate and then I just turned around. But I don't exactly remember how to get there directly from here. So it might take me a minute. Elden Ring has more spells than the Hogwarts Legacy game? Somebody actually counted? That's wild. Is that because they're including, like, Ashes of War, or just literally... okay, I'm an idiot. Souls never had the most creative spells. Most are just Soul Arrow, but fancier. True. Well, I mean, to be fair, can you really expect Hogwarts Legacy to have, like, a load of spells when Harry only ever used Expelliarmus? Look at us looking like nerds, just, like, slapping at each other and missing. Me. Elder Scrolls has somewhat more creative magic. Really, I always felt extremely limited by the magic options in Elder Scrolls, but I didn't like go super hardcore down that route, so I kind of make the game work from the start that way. Or rather, like, it felt like there were way more OP options than magic. Especially, like, once you got your alchemy up and whatnot, and you could just craft equipment that was godly. I always felt like archery was really slept on in those games. So, I think... Right, so we had to jump on this. Ignore that dude. Did I ever get up there? Yeah, I think I did. An elixir? Nope. Ooh, a wonder essence. Alright, I'll try to remember that. Although it's kind of pointless to remember that, because I could always just buy more. It's not like there's really been a use for my money in this game. Which I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, to be honest. Like, it's nice. It gives you, like, a little bit of reward for, like, hitting this stuff. Because I'd rather the things in the shop be affordable than not. Alright. So now we are back to the Merg Forest. Evil mushroom. Oh, cool. Some herbs. When didn't I feel limited in magic in the Elder Scroll games? When I was like so OP at the point where I could just do whatever. Do you think Morrowind or Oblivion had a system to combine spells? So I bricked my Oblivion game, so I don't really remember the magic too much in that one, but I was kind of really disappointed in the magic in Oblivion. Especially like with the familiars and whatnot. Daggerfall remake needed. Yeah, projectile with explosion, beam, cloak, and 1 AoE burst. One switch from spellcrafting to alchemy, but you know that like Daggerfall was all about spellcraft? Okay. Yeah, I screwed up by not pushing those boulders over that first time I came here. I do kind of wish the Merg Forest had a different soundtrack going on. Not that I mind this one, but it just kind of makes this area, which feels a little bit different from the other ones, not stand out as much.
Step back, furthest one! The penalty for disobedience is death! Insolent furthest one! Prepare to be flattened into a quivering pool of jelly! Kneel and submit before your executioners, furthest one! You're agile, yes, but you shall not escape the sting of death! Ha! Well, you seem to have actually moved closer for this one. You leave us no choice. Retreat! Fall back! Run!
It's kind of similar to the miming, the gnome folk. You were playing Daggerfall Unity a while back. How's its flaws from being so old, but it was fun. A cave. Uh-oh.
Well, Kiki! They're trapped! Furthest ones cannot resist to try strange switches.
It's true.
I will let you have this.
Oh, that's kind of scary. Well, that didn't stop me none. How do I jump? I cannot jump. I probably, yeah, I should definitely go from the other side. Makes sense. The new game will be set in Daggerfall. You hope you can still travel to Skyrim, though. You'll love the setting and the 2024 mods. Have you wishing your PC could run them? Well, if it makes you feel any better, they'll keep releasing it until 2034. And you'll catch up to it at some point. Can I not make that jump? Okay, I can. I just need to get good. Just herbs. Yeah, let's keep that one on. I was afraid I'd need to burn that down and switch equipment again. Damn it. Well, there's another cave over here. Let's get ambushed again. Shall we? I see. I wonder if this is timed. Can never tell sometimes. Okay, it was. Then I don't mind damage boosting. Alright, Eddie, have a good one, man.
Look, he's come this far. Summon all our brothers. I do as you ask. We will watch with joy as the furthest ones cower in fear before us.
Well, oh, so now they can shoot above. Okay. I was ready to taunt them from a distance, and then they did the unexpected. So I'm just kind of scouting about right now. I feel like that's... Oh. Guess it's not timed. That doesn't seem right. Okay, it is timed. So oh, I think I need to go through here first. Uh-oh. How inconvenient. Oh, I thought the bridge was going to get destroyed. Kind of expected that. 30 Gilder. What's the worst place to be stranded, the mountains or the ocean? Definitely the ocean. Especially, like, it depends where in the ocean, but it's not great. Because at least on the mountains, you can definitely survive a day, but you can't necessarily swim a day. Although I guess it might like depend on how you're defining stranded here, but yeah. You hate monkeys. One stole a bottle of water from you in Malaysia. You wanted to kick it off the mountain, but a whole troop was on standby. You needed fancy fighting them all. So what am I supposed to do with this? Oh, that did not flip the switch. What do I do about that, though? Because this is here no matter what, it seems. Oh, I wonder if I need... Nope. Okay. So, I feel like I'm definitely missing something here. Oops. And that goes that way? Actually, let's try to jump off. Kind of curious. No, nothing. Depends on the mountain. They can be deserts. Water's a problem in both scenarios. Yeah. But I mean, the likelihood you can at least... make a signal or have some indication that you ever existed on a mountain is a lot higher than it would be in the ocean. Feel like I'm missing something. Maybe I don't come through here yet? But I got ambushed, which makes me think I should. Because, I don't know, there's multiple entrances or exits, it seems. I don't know. I guess I'll just go out for now and come back if I get stuck. Your pod did tell you it's stupid to want to fight a wild animal, but you're indignant about it to this day. Oh no, when will you ever be able to recover the losses of one water bottle? Honestly, I feel really bad for like a lot of the animals in places like Malaysia where they kind of rely on tourists to get food and stuff. Because it's just kind of like ruined the wildlife. Because they can't really fend for themselves super well, or they just choose not to. So apparently, like, COVID really messed up, like, a lot of, indigenous animals that, like, relied on, what it's called? Tourism to help them out. Sorry for the beeping, that's my, humidifier. I forgot to turn it off before stream. Touche, yeah. Ever accidentally offended a swan and can't get them to let it go and they attack? No, I've never offended a swan, thankfully enough. But yeah, apparently like birds are also really good at recognizing people. And swans are freaking big. Kill a decent number of people every year. Swans and geese. Okay. Wait, what do I even do with this? Okay. That's kind of annoying. So now I just leave? This thing here is just literally to stop me from... Okay, whatever. And I failed to make that jump. It's not even a jump, it's a drop. I'm just going to like damage boost a lot and then go use the strength elixir. Scallies wouldn't go out of their way to attack an animal, but you have fantasized about a goose attacking your hypothetical... What? Oh, a goose attacking your hypothetical child and then you'd feel justified about fighting back? Okay. I'm like, you want a goose to attack your child? What? Damn it. I'm gonna be too slow now. I blew it! I was afraid of that. Fudge. Well, just gonna wait. Right, we made it. Should I go down first? Probably. Maybe not. So I know that sword can one-shot these things, so I may as well use that. Sweet. Wait, why did that one live? Weird. Okay.
Wakikiki! This is delicious! Yes, good it is. The mushrooms refresh our tired bodies and free our clouded head. Uki? A furthest one! He has come to take our sacred mushrooms as Reiner of the Swamplands once did.
I wonder what kind of reference that is. So I'm gonna go back into the place that I skipped. See if there's any treasure like a gilded falcon. Mushrooms remembering Dark Souls. You just gotta go through a giant tree area first to get one shot by a mushroom at the end of it. Hey Jesse R, welcome back in. So maybe... Okay, now. Wanted this. Ooh, a life vessel. So I can't make that jump. I'm not gonna screw around with it and fall for no reason. God, I've... Oh, they live? That sucks. Let me put this on. Oh, that might have been why. I didn't mean to like turn like that. That was totally me. Heyo! Yeah. Oh, that worked. Right, back to where we were. Left or down? Left. Oh. I thought he like legitimately jumped over my attack. I wasn't even gonna be upset. I was gonna be more impressed than anything. Wait, it's from the Switch. Okay, that's kind of what I figured would happen. Wait, how? I screwed myself. What's the best type of bread? You like whole wheat and brown bread? Would you count like a croissant? Or is that more of like a pastry than a bread to you? So this is like one of the guardian golems. It's currently inactive, which is interesting. I can't seem to get around it yet. Speaking of bread, you want Nutella? Alright, so that's a neat little dead end. Danish bread for you? Italian round, sourdough, and a good rye. Pumpernickel. I also like a lot of flatbreads. Like wheat flatbread, when you can get it, is quite nice. I did it again. At least that time I was at full health. Okay, so this just exists to taunt me? Oh, or maybe I should have shot the arrow through this? I don't understand. Would this work? The answer is no. Okay. Strange. I've inspired you to play some old video games, just in general, or do you have like a specific game that you want to play or replay? Yeah, so I was talking about this maybe a couple days ago now, that Metroid Prime was like one of the top 5 rated Metacritic games to come out in 2023, which is just kind of crazy to me that a game that originally came out in like 2003 or whatever it was still hold that much relevance or sway. And I think some of it would be because the people who bought the remake or the remastering of Metroid Prime were probably biased and rated it highly. But I don't know. There's been like a lot of remakes of games.
Makikiki! He dares to enter our secret den! I must report this transgression to Lord Zazan at once. The stone golem stands ready. Attack the invader and crush him without mercy.
Alright, so now the golem should be angry. It's kind of annoying that he gets jumped through, but we don't. Time to go back. So yeah, it's strange to me just how many games are getting remade and how modern games, for a lot of cases, don't seem to be able to compete, or just the fact that so many people would go back to play the old games. And then on the Discord earlier this week, I'd posted a comment that I saw on Reddit, which kind of made me pause and think about it a bit more. I could probably look it up. Yeah, I don't want to like misquote it. Yeah, so somebody, Inuki on Reddit, had posted, I don't think that the issue is that single-player games are getting better. I think that multiplayer games are getting significantly, massively, unpleasurably worse. Single-player games have focused on the experience, and then multiplayer games have focused on, hang on, here's a loot box. You just ranked up. Hang on, sorry again. New battle pass unlock. Yeah, so the idea that multiplayer games are getting worse as opposed to single-player games is kind of fascinating, because in a certain sense, it does kind of resonate with me to a degree, because I've played games with battle passes. I don't like battle passes because generally I feel like whenever a game has a battle pass in it, it's kind of actively designed to make the game worse or grindier than it needed to have been. Like, the whole point of a battle pass is essentially to put a time gate on content that you've already paid for, you know? And the ironic thing is you don't always even get all that content. Oh, wow. You don't even get all that content you pay for. Apparently we've leveled up a couple times, if the golems are that easy now. The stone golem is defeated. It's mobile games, it's just the money guys. It's not just those, but yeah. It certainly had a huge influence on it when a significant chunk of development time is catered to figuring out how to milk the player base. And it feels cheap to do it because it's such low-hanging fruit, but again, like, we could always just turn to Call of Duty as an easy example. Like, when I was originally playing Call of Duty for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the original one, they didn't have like all this neon. I mean, they had a couple bits of flashy camos, like rewards for playing the game, like doing certain challenges, but nothing near to where it is now. And I did buy the remake of Modern Warfare, not the new Modern Warfare game, like the remake that came out like remastering, which came out a couple years ago. Maybe like 4 or 5 years ago at this point, who knows? And played it a bit. And I was having a blast, just kind of walking down memory lane again. And then they started adding in that extra bullcrap that nobody had asked for. It's like, what is going on? Like, this game was perfectly fine as it was. Like, why are they adding all this crap in? And just was sad, really. Oh, you're starting with Suikoden and Suikoden 2? Yo, Jesse, those are fantastic games, but they're supposed to be getting remastered this year. They were supposed to have originally come out at the end of last year, but who knows why it got pushed back. But if you haven't played those games, I will definitely not stop you, because the Eiyuden Chronicle is coming out, and like one of the original creators of the Suikoden games was like working on that one, and it seems like a very strong spiritual successor to that series. But yeah, Suikoden games, Suikoden 1 and 2 are chef's kiss. Like, Suikoden 1 is a decent game. Like, it's a pretty good JRPG. It's, how do I explain it? Like, I'm not trying to say it's bad, but I'm not trying to say it's like fantastic either. It's got a certain coziness to it, which is, it's just nice. It's kind of a cozy game. But then the second game like really elevates it. And I might be like hyping it up too much, but those are like some of my favorite RPGs of all time. Otherwise, you have a Lunar Silver Star Story, Legend Dragoon, and Vanguard Bandits. I don't think I've heard of Vanguard Bandits. Majar wonders if AI is ever going to become so powerful it allows us to custom design a video game on the level of Elden Ring at home. I mean, eventually, perhaps. I just don't know. Like, you could potentially do stuff with, like, Unity... Oh, sorry, not Unity. Unreal Engine 5. But the risk of that is... I wouldn't be able to say, like, hold on. I don't think you can compare a game quite like that that's AI generated to something like Elden Ring that's a bit more handcrafted, that had like hundreds of people working on it to make things like fit together. But I mean, certainly it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility that AI will procedurally generate things to be more like that. And we could potentially look to the games of the past, like Spore, to a certain extent, where they kind of have done that, but it's just, a completely different genre. So yeah, I definitely think it's possible, but whether or not those games will feel good or not copy pasted is something that's yet to be seen. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug, but old games are just cozy. Yeah, but I really do wonder if it's not just nostalgia being a hell of a drug. to be quite honest. Like, I think one of the issues for people as they've gotten older and grew up with the games, and part of the reasons that the games don't hold as much of their attention today, is that a lot of the novelty is gone. Like, there hasn't really been a ton of innovation in the types of games that have been like made over the years that make today's games substantially different from games in the past. With like, there's a couple exceptions, of course. So, well, like a lot more innovative games like the VR games, I think could, they're like a completely different thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean they play better or can hold attention better. And obviously, this channel is more focused on narratives than many other channels, and I've always enjoyed games with really strong narratives. And I like, one of my biggest laments and regrets about the state of gaming ever since like the PS3 era, especially, is that there really haven't been a ton of truly compelling narratives in video games for quite some time. And even though I say that, I would go so far as to argue that I don't necessarily think the FromSoft games themselves have really strong, compelling narratives, unless you take the time and effort to invest into it and get out of it what you want. So, of course, there are definitely exceptions to what I'm saying. Like, there are always going to be games that have like good stories and whatnot, but we like a lot of older gamers call like the PS1 era of RPGs like the golden years of gaming, or like of RPGs essentially, which is just kind of depressing, really. Like, there are good RPGs, but they just feel a lot more syndicated now, is how I would describe it. Like, everything kind of ends up feeling the same because companies keep copying each other to milk the audience. Like, think of how many freaking battle royale games have come out, how many MOBAs have come out, how many games are like Ubisoft in terms of the UI and whatnot. I don't know. And these games in the past, they well, they did I mean, I'm playing a freaking Zelda clone, but it's a little bit ironic for me to be like saying things this way. But even though this is a Zelda clone, in a lot of ways, it also was kind of brave enough to like shift the focus of it and have it be more narratively driven. So I don't know. I kind of want to make a video about this in the future, but it's just kind of like a lot to think about, and really just like trying to get a handle on whether or not these are rose tinted glasses is just kind of I don't know. It's just kind of hard to wrap the head around. And seeing the whole Metroid Prime ranking on the Metacritic just really, really had me like legitimately wonder. Because before, this is like always just kind of like a feeling that I had. It's like, well, maybe the old games just kind of like withstood the test of time a bit better. But seeing the remake just really makes me wonder if there actually is something more to it. You decided you couldn't wait for the remakes after they pushed it to the end of the year. Yeah, I feel that. I really wish they'd come out. Honestly, from what I saw of the Suikoden remakes, I was not a fan of the new UI. But hopefully that gets ironed out and whatnot. Yeah, and Escalzi says like more AI games might be more like RPG Maker games. So that's kind of immediately what came to mind at first. But trying to compare like an RPG Maker game to Elden Ring is pretty rough. Chadwick says there haven't been compelling narratives in media in 20 years either way. It's not true, but it feels like it. Yeah, I feel like that's being a little bit cruel because even though the Game of Thrones TV series had a very poor ending, it was a very strong narratively driven plot. Well, maybe not narratively, more like character driven plot for a huge chunk of its production. And well, that one's kind of easy to point to. I think there are other really phenomenal examples like Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, The Wire, I guess. Is that still 20 within the time frame of 20 years? The Sopranos, those are both kind of pushing it. Anyway, yeah.
Why is our captain afraid of the furthest ones? Lord Melzus says they're more scared of us than we are of them. The stone golem must be able to defeat him. furthest one! He's here! That's impossible! How could he have defeated the stone golem? We have to report this news to Lord Zazan!
He dropped his chest. Suikoden 2 in particular, you remember distinctly as a kid. Your mind was blown as soon as... Okay, yeah, Flick and Victor made an entrance. Oh, so you did play the first one? Okay. I'm glad that you've played the games, at least. Yeah, so yeah. Do you then, man. Yeah, I'm really, really excited to for those games to come out, because I definitely want to stream them, because they are some of my favorite games of all time. Nier Automata moved you deeply? So Nier Automata was always on my list of games to like go and play, but I just hadn't gotten around to it. So it's good to know that it's got like a good narrative then. You should head out for breakfast and then work. Be keeping an eye open for the lore videos. Thank you very much. You have a good one, and thanks for popping into the stream. Enjoy your breakfast and have a good shift. Right. You think I'm onto something? Baldur's Gate 3 is a single-player RPG mostly, and you hadn't enjoyed a game like that in a long time. So do you mean just the fact that it's single-player, or that it's like super narratively driven? Because I think Baldur 3's biggest strength is that the devs really took the time to incorporate... Ooh, Willow Bow obtained. They took the time to allow the game to adjust to the player and made it... I don't want to say non-linear, but reactive doesn't sound quite right either, but you know what I'm trying to get at, I'm sure. Interactive, that's the word. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is wonderfully interactive in a way that many games are not. We're filling out the pillars pretty nicely here. Okay. Here's a little save. Both really, you don't enjoy a lot of games that don't have a narrative drive? Okay. So yeah, I think with Baldur's Gate 3 and Elden Ring kind of really challenging a lot of the bigger conventions in gaming of the past 2 years, it could be taken as a positive trend for gaming, but I mean, I honestly feel like that's just kind of wishful thinking. Because game companies at the end of the day are companies, and they're in the business of making money, and games are just a way to do that. So it does make me pretty sad that like enough is never enough. It's always in pursuit of more. And so I feel like Blizzard was like one of the prime examples of that, like a game company that had a sterling reputation for a number of years that they just kind of flushed down the toilet because they were focusing on the bottom line rather than working on creating a quality product. And this is, did I say this in my Call of Duty video? Yeah, it feels like game companies are just making games good enough to get the player to like buy into them, rather than just making good games for the sake of making good games.
Welcome, furthest one. Welcome to the end of your miserable life.
Oh. Maybe the bow will actually do damage for once. Let's try it out. Willow Bow. Long range but weak. Charged by holding square. Okay, so we can charge this one. Oh, that's kind of cool. It pierces. Oops.
The furthest one will not give his life so easily. No matter. Our reinforcements will wipe the floor with this warm, sticky life fluid.
You do what with my what now? Alright. If we didn't focus on graphical fidelity quite so much, we may get better use of our dev dollars. Yeah, and that's something that's really annoyed me for a long time. And I've brought this up in the past as we've talked about this topic at large. Hold on. Okay, I was afraid of that. Okay. No big deal. That before Final Fantasy 15 came out, they had sent a questionnaire to their player base in the form of an email, and I got it. And I remember looking at the questionnaire and kind of knowing it was already over when so many of the questions about Final Fantasy 15 that the devs were posing to the player base was like, what do you think of when you think of the Final Fantasy series? And like a lot of the answers were more based like, oh, I definitely associate Final Fantasy with a heavy focus on graphics and things like that. And when I knew it was over, when the questionnaire was asking whether or not their players were interested in Persona 5. So why that tipped me off so much is it's kind of hard to say, and I think it's because Persona 5 was such a niche game before its actual release. Like, hardly anybody had really ever played a Persona game, and they don't pander to a wide audience. They just tell the story that they want to tell, which is, why I really like a lot of the Atlas games. But the fact that they legitimately had Square Enix worried was worrisome to me. And I will always tell Persona 5 as like one of the quintessential examples where like graphics don't define the games. It's really like the art styles, because Persona doesn't really have good graphical fidelity in kind of like the common phrasing of the word or the term or whatnot, but it has such a strong art style, it doesn't matter. Like, the game just looks vibrant, it's popping, the things that you want to focus on stand out, the stuff that is part of the background just kind of like all fades together, but it's all purposefully done where it's artistic and it like fits the vision of the game. And I've talked about this before when this topic came up with me going on my rants about Persona 5. It's like, even though you're in a city and you've got like hundreds or thousands of people around you, I think Persona 5 does a stellar job of kind of making everybody's face become an indistinct blur. So they kind of feel like NPCs, or they're not really part of your life because they just fade into the background, which is kind of true when you're surrounded by that many people in such a densely populated environment. So it was really interesting how they were able to convey that feeling through the medium of a video game. And of course, like there's other stuff that goes into it, like you're focused on the characters and the story, so everything in the background fades in the background, but it just all works. And that it also like helps flesh out the story in a way by the way that it like contrasts from everything else by just complementing everything. Whereas like Final Fantasy 15 was just so focused on graphics, it was in development hell for literally 15 years, definitely over a decade, and the final product that we got was literally unfinished. They said they were going to make like 3 or 4 or 5 DLCs, but only like 1 or 2 came out, and the combat absolutely sucked, in my opinion. I know some people like 15, but I feel like a lot of those people that did never really played like the OG Final Fantasies and just like didn't really understand what I wanted out of the series. And I felt just kind of a pity for them for not being able to see how much of a subpar quality product that they got. Which it sounds really egotistical and arrogant to say, "Oh, you don't realize how shit your game is." But I mean, that's just kind of actually how I feel. So I don't really want to apologize for that because it's just how I feel. Anyway, I'm going way off on these tangents here. Stella was watching a streamer you follow playing the new Prince of Persia game earlier, and you were really surprised considering most recent Ubisoft games. I haven't looked at it pretty much at all. I think I saw one trailer, maybe at the VGAs, and then, yeah, it just fell off my radar. Chadwick says Persona was for serious weebs. I mean, it still kind of is, but, like, if you go to Reddit, you'll see posts about Persona hit, like, the front page maybe multiple times a week. I don't really know. But when is the last time you've ever seen anything about Final Fantasy 15 ever? Chadwick says FF15 wasn't even FF15. Yeah. Hey, Without Horns, welcome back. And I kind of feel like 16 is going that same route. I do think 16 is a decent game, and its story is much better than like 15's, but I don't think it's like super phenomenal. I don't know. Yeah, 16 just kind of felt like an okay to above average game, which I think I've said this before on stream. Like, it's not like a great Final Fantasy, which means it's kind of like a bad Final. Hold on, what did I say? It was like, it's a above average game, which means it's a not good Final Fantasy. I think something along those lines. Raggy? This is a... Oh no, not perspective shifts. So I think I want all three down. Okay, I can't do that. Small indie games will always have passion project gems, but big budget titles unfortunately go through cycles of new renaissance and shitification. And closure is the problem you're gesturing towards? Yeah, I don't know. Because it's not like all AAA titles are garbage. Like, 16 is a good game, but like I was trying to say like a moment ago, that doesn't... Like, a good game isn't a great Final Fantasy. This is weird. Oh, okay. Okay, I think I got it. I don't know if this is going to bring it back up, but I'm testing. Okay. So what happens if I do that twice? FF15 best road trip simulator, bad main story, but still made you cry, which is pretty rare. So that one definitely controls that. How do I get across, though? Maybe I'm missing something in this room. Squenix is having a hard time lately. They can't figure much of anything out. Yeah, and like, it's super frustrating because they've taken Enix down with them. They've taken Tri-Ace with them. And so like a lot of the big RPG publishers are just kind of languishing. So it's kind of rough to say that because I'm still looking forward to the FF... Okay, I could go through the wall. I'm looking forward to the FF7 remake episode 2, Electric Boogaloo. But, I mean, the combat still looks not great. At least it looks like they've integrated more, what are they called? Combination attacks? Uniting attacks? But I'm still worried about it. So he came through here. Cool. Wait. Was that the room I came from? Maybe it was. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Okay. Oh yeah, big NFT game? Great idea. Thank you, I thought of it myself. For the last 10 years, Squenix has been a much better publisher than a developer. Oh yeah, for sure. Do they even still develop games? Nah, I mean, obviously. Next month we got a big one coming out. At least for the PS5. And then they said that exclusivity... Oh, okay, so that spawns in the Merg. Exclusivity only lasts until May, which is kind of surprising. But that doesn't necessarily mean that... there's going to be the ports of the remake available in May. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I need to really fight them. Oh, well, there was like a clicking sound last time. May as well. Right. So there's no point to that. I wasn't trying to have my charge attack go away. Right. Oh, full HP. Good for me. Oh, you had to go help someone with your door as soon as I started replying to your message? What was it? Let me scroll back up. I feel that. You're watching a streamer... Oh, okay. I didn't really say too much. I just said that I think I saw a trailer for it. Maybe on the VGAs it was. And it kind of fell off my radar, and I don't even really remember what it looked like. I mean, it didn't look bad. I was kind of excited that Prince of Persia was making a comeback. Because it had been so long since I heard anything about that franchise. I just, you know, kind of assumed it was more or less done. So... I'm pleased that there's going to be more with it. I'm going to go back through... Alright, now I'm going to come in through here and see if that connects around. What? Did I? This is the Golem area. How did I get so turned around that I... Did that really happen? I don't remember having to do it this way, but honestly I have been kind of like distracted by chat a lot. And I'm not blaming you guys, I just... It's not really often that I feel like I actually get turned around. No, I couldn't have come in through this way. That has to be a twice. I hope, otherwise I'm going to really feel confused. Well, it doesn't help that I just jumped on the mushroom. Jesse has mixed feelings. So you have feelings about the 7 remake in that it's a sequel and not an actual remake? Yeah. It feels like they took the interest in a remake and used it as a marketing tool for not a remake. So my tinfoil conspiracy theory idea is that the remake, an actual bona fide remake, would have been way too costly to produce. So, no, maybe? Yeah, I must be tripping. So I think they were just going to go off the rails and make a completely different story to keep people engaged with it or whatnot. And my hope beyond hope is that once all the episodes of the pseudo remake retelling, I guess we could call it, of the story is complete, that they will take all the assets that they've like worked on and make like a real faithful adaptation. But I just don't really believe it. That's just kind of like the hope in me, the last glimmer of the hope. You could have an hour-long conversation about company culture in Japan and how it can be a double-edged sword. Yeah. I mean, the trick is to be a foreigner. Well, a non-Asian foreigner. And the reason why I say non-Asian is because, like, Asian foreigners in Japan are still kind of expected to conform to those Japanese-style ideals, but actual foreigners can, like, get away with a lot of stuff. How the hell did this work? How did I come through the other way? Was there just always an entrance there that I went around? Or is this closed off? Oh, okay. So, I mean, that might have always existed there. Okay, I do remember killing these dudes on the first way out. Okay, okay. So that one entrance is a trap. I'm figuring it out. Yeah, so, like, being a foreigner, you can just kind of skirt a lot of the expectations that the workforce would place on you. And you have the power to say no. Which a lot of Japanese people don't have themselves. Basically, you can enforce boundaries, is what I'm saying. Or one can enforce boundaries, I should say. The Merg are too slippery. I wonder if their numbers are endless here. Kinda seems like it. Alright. Without Horns really likes the twist that the remake is like an alternate universe version of FF7. And honestly, it had been pretty clear that we were never going to get a straight-up remake as far back as Final Fantasy X. Yeah. Wait, why do you say 10? Curious what your connection between 10 is? Is it because of Shinra? Like the little kid, or... Not that I necessarily disagree, I'm just kind of curious where your mind is at on that. This looks sketchy. Wait, why would I do that? Could I have jumped down here from there? Oh, this is terrifying. Damn it, I missed it. Huh. Oh, okay, okay. Damn it. It really depends how into Metroidvanias you are. The movement's really cool for Prince of Persia, but the streamer's also Castlevania speedrunner, so he picked up pretty fast too. Okay. So it's a Metroidvania? I'll need to like look at some gameplay, maybe. We wouldn't need remakes of old things if we could keep making good new things, but that's hard, you see. I mean, to be fair, like this has been an ongoing problem for as long as we've had media. Because even some of our most beloved movies are remakes of their originals, like Scarface, for example. What's going on? Okay. That's a remake of like a film that came out in the 20s or something like that. Health. Oh, that healed a lot. Okay. And we've had cyclical interest in comic book movies. And now it seems like they're kind of on... What's the word? They're not on the outgoing. I don't know. Anyway. Let's afraid of that. Alright, Jesse. Thanks for dropping into stream, and you have a good night. Okay, that worked. So can I do this? Sweet. Watch it like raise the other one. 10 was just about the point they released interviews about the idea of a 7 remake. Okay, yeah, you might be right about that. It's like after 10, I think when they did like 10-2. PS3 tech demo of Aerith and Midgard was also kind of a bittersweet message. Yeah, that was kind of cruel. So I honestly think they may have been like toying around with the idea and then shelved it. Okay.
Wee, this is good! The finest monkey wine I have ever tasted. We will guzzle no wine before it's time. Kiki, a furthest one! Here to hijack this lovely liquid from us?
Oh, hit a lot of them. Okay. Wait, I think they must have been invulnerable when I swung. Some fine wine. Okay. How much technology has evolved. Remaking old games can be a great move. Yeah. I'm still looking forward to replaying the Star Ocean 2 remake. And obviously with me playing this old-ass game, I'm not really averse to playing old games. Again? I don't know. Not the monkey booze. Yeah, well, we need to do that so we can give it to Ishin. You know. They worked hard on that. Strength tonic. May as well use this. Oh, I took a little bit more damage than I was expecting. Not to mention the decades of hindsight on how to improve it. Not all remakes are improvements, believe it or not. That's kind of the most ironic part about it. Oh, so that took me back this way. So I didn't want to go through there. Yeah, I'm going to go down and then up to the top. Okay, okay. This should be it. Ultimately depends on how the remake is handled. Like the Resident Evil remakes are really well done and the 3 remake is mixed. Okay, I didn't realize that 3 was received mixed. Or had mixed reviews, I don't know. The first one was the only real one in the way you mean? Okay. I need to not screw around with these things. I lied. I'm going to totally screw around with these things. How did I miss? Give me the health. No, they're trolling me. Trolling mushrooms. That was not worth. Anyway. The GameCube Resident Evil 1 remake is a complete overhaul? You don't mean to sound salty. It's all good, man. Salt is a spice after all.
Dream more, furthest one. We will not give this wine to one so ugly. You go, boy. There's no way you can hope to defeat me, furthest one. No possible way.
Oh, yeah? Well, then try this on. I am salty that that did not hit more of those ones over there. The GameCube version may as well be the definitive one. You're honestly disappointed they haven't tried to use the Crimson Head idea in later games? The RE engine remakes are mostly modern gameplay and story tweaks. The 4 story stuff is drastic, largely because the OG was written in like a month. Yeah, I just don't know enough about Resident Evil at all to like really grasp what you guys are talking about. Let's go this way. Did I just... Oh wait, no. Okay, so that's fine, I think. I don't know if I can get back that way. Okay, I can. That makes me feel better. So, is there anything over there? No, not really. Oh, but I can save it. I should do that. Oh. Yeah, this would be quite a long area to go through if I hadn't unlocked the portal stuff. Capcom suffers from corporate culture possibly as bad as Square Enix. I mean, that doesn't surprise me in the least. Like, look at how many remakes... Well, I can't really... Well, like... Pretty much every Mega Man game is a remake to a certain degree, you know? But look at how many of those they churned out, and they've never been considered like one of the most original companies to work for. They just kind of like had that motto of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And what's the point of that? Konami? Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, Konami... Oh, Konami too, okay. No doubt, but you know as many Keiji Inafunes out of Capcom or Konami? Just go play some more pachinko, it'll be alright. And Konami was also one of the companies that I used to really like as a kid. A lot of good, fond memories of their games. The Crimson Head thing is that if you killed a zombie, they would later turn into a faster, stronger zombie later in the game if you didn't also use rare resources to then burn the body. Interesting. Hey Chucky2D, welcome into the stream. Thoughts on the new Prince of Persia? You're against how they took a puzzle fighting game and turned it into a side-scrolling hack and slash. Honestly, some people had asked me about that in chat. I think I only saw the trailer for that game maybe once at the VGA Awards. I might even be misremembering that. I haven't seen enough to have an opinion. Because I forgot what it was all about. Because if it was during the VGAs, I was probably distracted or like more focused on Elden Ring stuff. But probably distracted because like I didn't really get the chance to settle in and actually sit down and watch the VGAs until like 2 hours in or something like that. It did start as a side scroller, that's true. The old like can't even really call it DOS. Like, it was pre-DOS, I think. Prince of Persia has been one sold in like 5 different gaming bodies. Most people look at Sands of Time as what Prince of Persia even is. Maybe. Alright, so we pushed that out of the way. So we should be able to come up here. So we just go this way then. Okay. Who the heck is that? Keysmith. The damned apes got you too, eh? The freaks took all my tools and pitched me in this hellhole. I wonder if I can do this. Nope. Nope. The wall seems to be poorly maintained. There's quite a noticeable crack in it. Alright. Stella said, watching like 9 hours of it today, there's a lot of puzzles in the platforming. Interesting. I wanted him to say something about that, like, oh, what's that noise? Anyway. If movement's fun, then almost everything else is forgivable in a Metroidvania. 100% true. Like, gameplay is king, for real. Which is kind of why I'm a little disappointed at how janky some of the jumps are in this. Because I never really remembered it having wonky controls, although that might just be because of like it being a product of its time. Because I always remembered Landstalker as being a bit awkward, partially because of its viewing angles. So it's kind of interesting to see that Alundra also had some of those issues, but just in a different orientation, with like up and down, as opposed to left and right. I don't know. Another Wonder Essence? Okay. Seems like they tried to hold on to the good elements, but it doesn't have the immersion that the original had. That's understandable. 4 monkeys just took me prisoner, but you still have your sword. There's no way Alundra would find themselves surrounded by 4 Mergs and just walk to the cell quietly. It's one of those things. Maybe he was just going along with it so he didn't starve to death in that other cell that they had him in. I don't know. Or maybe he just went along with it so that way he could infiltrate their base more freely. Because the other part of the area was closed off. But, you know, we're just trying to rationalize what's going on. There are no plot holes in my circa 1997 game. What are you talking about? Give me those sequence breaks and movement tech and you're good, baby? Yeah. It's kind of one of the coolest parts about the Metroid games, just like how much they could be broken. The old 2D ones, at least. Actually, I don't know how much of the 3D ones could be. Oh, Mimic! Oh. Guess that Fiend Sword does pretty good damage to them. Now my trust has been broken, though. Oh, maybe because of the ring? I don't know. I was just muted to hydrate and whatnot. Alright, so... Making you want to play Strider 14 again? Real snappy movement and fighting, good stuff. Isn't, like, that's also one of the things, like a lot of new games don't really feel bad to play. So it's really curious to me why so many games are being remade or remastered. I mean, obviously there's a component to it where it's easier to get money out of somebody with a franchise that they're more familiar with. So that much I definitely understand. I don't know, but I still feel like there's just something a little bit lamentable about it to begin with. I'm scared. Oh no. Got me charging. Oh, he only did 1 point of damage. Okay, I'm not too worried about those mimics anymore. Other than the old jump scare factor. The rotoscope SNES version is what introduced you to the series. It's very atmospheric. Oh, for the Prince of Persia? Original Prince of Persia had a time limit. That's a big deal. Castlevania never really recovered from how successful Symphony of the Night was. Yeah, that's true. Although, to be honest, I was never a fan of the Castlevania games. I kind of hated them because they kind of embodied everything that I hated in those kind of side-scrolling platformers, with just being like so extremely slow to me, clunky, having awkward enemy placements, really frustrating pitfalls and death traps. Also, thinking about the fact that the wall that you just crouched next to, like an egg, for however many minutes it was. Which isn't to say like it's a bad game, but it's just definitely not a game that I ever could get into seriously. The old NES ones, I should clarify. The old GBA and DS Castlevanias are fun though. They still have all their own mechanics, which is great. They never did the same thing with them. You're getting your ass kicked playing Order of Ecclesia. I'm unfamiliar with that. Hateful game design is like a shooter, it's great. Alright, Tower of the Great Tree.
How did you escape? Capture him, you buffoons!
You idiots. You only sent 3 Merg when it takes 4 Merg to capture Alundra. Trying to remember that like tennis player's name where he's like, and let it be known that so-and-so does not lose 27 times in a row. That's kind of scary. So I figure I'll probably need the barrel, but I'm just, you know, barrels. I'm just scouting. Maybe I don't need the barrels. Alright, may as well use the herb. Heals what ails ya. What do I do with this? Oh, I'll just take the... Oh. Wait, but for real, like, what do I do with that? You agree? Okay. I don't like the classic Vanias. Yeah, those are brutal. Okay. So we've got a barrel. We've got 2 barrels. Was there any place else to jump with them? Or is this just meant to taunt me? To tantalize me? Yeah, maybe it's just to get around these things. Anyway. Symphony of the Night by itself is slow, you guess, but its movement tech makes you fly through the levels. Yeah, I'm not really talking about Symphony of the Night, just like the classic Vanias, as Stella put it. Order of Ecclesia was the last Castlevania on the DS. Okay. Glitch speedruns are wild. Ooh, a rock. So this was the place that was closed off. This is like the guard tower. So I wonder if this is the beginning of the jail? Or like another entrance? This place is weird. Interesting, okay. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but one kind of terrible side-scrolling platformer that I actually kind of enjoyed was... What's its actual title? Wonder Boy in Monsterland or Monster World for the Sega Genesis. So that's where we came from. Did I come out of the main entrance or was it the side entrance? I should have... I didn't realize there were two doors. Power of the Great Tree. Okay, this is different. So this is, yeah, anything like the place, that first manor we went to, they won't be vulnerable until they do the jump. Okay, okay. So I kind of figured out how that works. What a sturdy door. It seems as if it would be impossible to open. Well, fudge. I wonder if I go in from the closed off area? Well, I don't see how that helped. You've heard of that one? You don't think you've ever seen a screenshot of it? It's like really cutesy looking, cartoonish style game. It wasn't like super great or anything, but it was kind of cozy, childish. I'm trying to think of like how to describe it. Maybe if no, this would sound way too awesome. At first, I was thinking of saying like if you crossed Gunstar Heroes with Castlevania, but no, that makes it sound way cooler than it actually was. This game is a perfect example of immersion. It's got a good story. You can get stuck at a spot that has to do with putting the items in the right place. Yeah, this game can tend to be tend to fall on the side of like a little bit frustrating at times. But it was memorable, and not a lot of games like really actually stay all that memorable once you're done with them and put them down. Maybe this is a different spot. So maybe I didn't get trapped here, so maybe I do need to go down. Wonder Boy, okay. Does not open from this side? Yeah. Hey, Mr. Ya. Okay, so I was wrong. That is where I came in, but I may as well save it and whatnot. Trevor and Simon and Christopher and Sonia and Richter were all human tanks. Oh, the protagonists of the Castlevanias. Glitch speedruns are wild in general. You don't know how people figure out some of them for real, though. Is it this one? Yeah, it should have been this one. The Wonder Bra games are... Are bizarre, taking their evolution over time? Yeah. Was that autocorrect? Because that's hilarious either way. Alright, so what a sturdy door. I feel like I should be able to jump on top of this house and then into the tree. That would have been really cool. But it doesn't seem to work. Feels like something... there should be something here, I don't know. Oh, maybe... I highly doubt this is the case. Sometimes it feels like a little bit of Chekhov's gun, where, like... sometimes things just exist for, like, world building, but you feel like it should have, like, a bigger purpose later on. Maybe this room does, I don't know. Maybe I missed something with the walls. I don't feel like it. Yeah, maybe I just need to go back under and like come up someplace else. Pretty much all I could think of. You want to play all the Wonder Bra games? Talking about all the games but don't mention Pajama Sam, Spy Fox, or Putt Putt? Well, you didn't mention Earthworm Jim or Abe and his Odyssey. Or Toe Jam and Earl. I don't know. Honestly, I've never heard of any of those games that you just mentioned there. This is the way I came from. Well, I went... That's kind of a lie. Anyway, I came from the southeast side. That's the Mimic. Yep, I remember that. I wish I could, like, kind of zoom out or get, like, a little bit of a mini-map for this area. Not necessarily to see, like, where the walls are and whatnot. Just because I want to know if there's, like, another entrance without having to manually comb over all this. Yeah, I didn't remember seeing anything, but I mean, considering how badly I got stuck on the stupid purple area in Elaine's nightmare, it's not out of the question that I would miss a simple warp plate for 30 minutes or something like that. Alright, no, that's definitely not it. Your phone's never seen the word Wonder Boy before. It did, however, instinctively know the word Wonder Bra, capitalized it all and everything. Yeah. Yeah, phones are pretty good about, like, products. Go figure. Yeah, because it's always funny to me when, like, YouTube gets auto-corrected to have, like, a capital Y and a capital T. I'm like, bro, it's not that big a deal to capitalize that. Just send me to the website, please. Kind of annoyed that there isn't, like, a soft reset button. Because this is almost as bad as talking to the keeper of the books and whatnot to reload your area, your game. Alright, so there definitely did not seem to be anything else down here. So I'm missing something else. Oh, do I jump in the pot? Alright, so saying jumping in the pot just kind of like reminded me of this movie that I saw once as a kid. Probably when I was like 8 years old or something like that. It was on TV, I think. I have no idea what the hell movie it was. The only thing I remember was there's like it was kind of like Indiana Jones, where it seemed to be like an explorer style dude, and he was like with a woman, and they were like on a tropical island, and something went wrong, and then the natives were trying to throw the woman in a gigantic cauldron of boiling water, which was absolutely terrifying for me as a kid. Well, no, I'm kind of exaggerating, but like it was definitely impressionable because I haven't seen anything like that before or since. It's just kind of like a terrifying thought to get boiled alive. So anyway, I have no idea what the hell that movie was. I've tried Googling it and still have like been fruitless. And it seemed like one of those older movies that could have been made in the 70s based off like the camera quality, but it's been so long since I've seen it, I honestly have no idea. So anyway, maybe somebody in chat knows. Maybe I'm just crazy. Who knows? All right. You did play Putt-Putt and Pajama Sam, but you can't say you ever played a Sabrina game? Okay. There were educational games, like Number Munchers? You'll admit to games you played at 7 because you're 7 and that's a great excuse to play it if they're actually bad. PC version of Centipede was unreasonably scary for you as a kid? That's funny. I think the version of Centipede I played the most was Mirka Chase for Neopets? Or was it the dinosaur game? I don't remember. No, I think it was Mirka Chase. I almost said Meerkat. I'm like, no, that's a real animal, so that couldn't have been a Neopet. Wait a second. Is this a lie? Alright, so ramming it doesn't work. Well, I knocked. Okay. Wait, this is a wooden door, right? It's one hell of a reinforced wooden door. Okay. I almost feel like this is one of those cases where you need to pull the door rather than push it. I don't know. Do you remember the Mirka Chase game? Okay. Enough bombs to blow down any door? Or at least its hinges. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Maybe I just missed like another door somewhere or something. I can jump on this. Oh my god. Well, I figured out what I missed. A trick of perspective. Don't know if I feel relieved or humiliated, to be honest. Oh, save spot. Ooh, a piece of candy. Dude, that would have been a little bit rough if I didn't have the portals and just like doing this blind. Took me a couple hours to get through the Merg place. I guess I'm not really through it, but you know what I mean. The achievement Scalise is most proud of is you were there in person when you flipped the iceberg in Club Penguin. I never played Club Penguin. I have no idea what you're talking about at all. Like, most of my exposure to Club Penguin comes from, like, memes about it. I don't know why I said most of my exposure. That's literally been all of my exposure. And they all seem like really silly, like for 9-year-olds. Because I mean, it seems like that's what kind of game it was. And I don't even really remember the memes well enough, but like I think one that stands out to mind is like it seemed like there was just like one penguin person on the screen, and they're like, "All right, I'm gonna do it. No one's around," and then they said like "frick" or something like that, and then they got banned. Finding hats hidden around Club Penguin is a lot of fun. When you played it, there's not a lot of content, just a very silly online game. Nothing wrong with that. I played a decent amount of Neopets, but I always felt conned because I never had like an astonishing amount of Neo points. I think the most that I had at one time was like 1,000,000, which is a ridiculous amount. But I think that's just because I hit like a couple jackpots and something like that, so it's not like I really earned it. Whereas like people would play the Neopian stock market and make ridiculous amounts of Neo points, and they just made everybody else feel poor essentially. So the most thing that I did in terms of like amassing Neo points was getting enough to purchase all 9 of the laboratory map piece fragments so I could send my Neopets to the lab. Feels like a trap. 1 guilder obtained. I lived. Oh no, 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 that's not cool. I know I'm taking so much damage is because I'm not just utilizing the bombs anymore. I'm actually trying to fight. Oh, these are archers. Wait, why did it stop charging? Like, I know I took the hit. But it, like, kept doing the charge up sound, which is... Anyway. So yeah, I got the Neopian Lab Ray, which does experiments to your Neopets, and so you could like modify their stats and their appearances and whatnot. And it ended up transforming my Neopets into like pretty much unrecognizable monsters, and I felt really bad. Because part of the whole reason why I was like doing that was to get them like better for the Neopian... I don't even remember what it's called. I was gonna just call it like the battle arena. That should be good enough. That should suffice. And part of the reason why like I bring all that up is the battle arena was more or less just rigged so that way the whales would win, because they could afford to, you know, give their Neopets steroids essentially. So like doing it legitimately, you're just not gonna have a good time. And they're like always associated rewards with ranking up your Neopets. It's kind of like the Pokemon adjacent thing for kids that didn't have Pokemon. Alright. There's a long-standing legend and meme of various ways to flip over the big iceberg, and right as the game was about to permanently go offline, the devs added in an event where it happened. Oh, okay. The Neopets inflation economy. So it didn't really have like, I guess there was some inflation, but like most of the stuff you could get from like the vendor shops. But then there was also like the player based. Oh my god, I forgot all about that. No, you're kind of right. So Neopets also had like player housing, and that you could spend like a ton of Neopets on and like try to make your own Neopian house and furnish it with like the random junk you'd get from like their games and whatnot. And oh, I'm just lucky that Neopets was free. Like nowadays, that stuff would have cost like microtransactions and really hooked kids on from an early age. It's kind of scary to think about. I forgot all about like the Neopian housing and whatnot. Now I've got like a kind of morbid curiosity to go back and see what my Neopian house is like. But I mean, it was just always a pain in the ass to try to decorate it because your controller input was a browser. So, yeah, it was just a little bit painful to do things in general. I should see the shenanigans that go on in the RuneScape economy. There are people in lower income countries that live off of trading items and selling gold. Oh no, I absolutely 100% believe that. And gambling on duels, yep. The thing is, people are never going to like outcompete gold sellers because they use botnets to do what they need to do. It's funny, like I had a friend in college, the same one whose like family was part of a cult, like stopped going to his classes and he's just like super focused on RuneScape because he was abusing Adderall, and like he couldn't sleep at night because of the Adderall, and so rather than like focusing on his schoolwork, he just played RuneScape, and he kept his roommate up all the time with like his incessant clicking apparently on the mouse. And I was talking to him one day and I was like, okay, why aren't you like actually doing your schoolwork and stuff, and instead of like playing RuneScape? He's like, oh well, I could just sell my gold. I'm like, who the hell's gonna buy your gold? And then he like looks at me and he goes, middle schoolers. Like a straight face. Which, like, at the time I thought he was freaking crazy because when was this? Like 2008 maybe? 2007, somewhere around there. And like RuneScape wasn't really that popular. And so like just the belief that middle schoolers would buy gold from him was just kind of like one of the most delusional things that I'd ever heard. But of course, like, you know, however many years later I found out like old school RuneScape is like kind of a thing again. And people are unironically buying gold from it. But maybe not middle schoolers. Maybe the people who were middle schoolers at the time are, but I don't know. Just a little bit ironic, perhaps. Oh. They'd screw with rare items in a way that got a bunch of them on exchange and drove the prices down, but there was a bunch of ways that you don't really recall for screwing with the economy. Oh, 12-year-olds would intentionally break the RuneScape economy, which was funny to watch. It is really fascinating to me that, like, MMOs and whatnot have a literal form of an economy that can actually be studied by literal economists to try to gain insight into the way people behave in certain set systems. And one of the coolest ones to me was how World of Warcraft essentially did pandemic testing, kind of. So they like gave people a zombie virus and they like tracked how long it like took to spread between people and just like all that kind of stuff. So obviously that's not really economic based, but maybe I should go out the front door because it seemed a little bit more involved. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, like the whole Warcraft economy of its game and like buying and selling items or like cornering markets and stuff is just super fascinating because it's just like a microcosm of what happens in the real world. Gotta farm those pets and grind those woodcutting levels, bro. Yeah. You were talking about the dye stuff and trading Neopets to get the name you wanted, so you could transfer that name over to your pet. Oh man, I didn't even remember that aspect. That like, yeah, your names could get not like stolen, but you know, you may not have gotten like the name you wanted. Like if you wanted to name your Neopet Dave, that was definitely taken. It's funny that what you call OSRS wasn't actually the original version of RuneScape. Yeah. The WoW mystery virus? Yeah. Nearly killed them all. So I figured this might happen. Ah. It's literally just to sightsee. That sucks. I'm probably gonna like fall down and... I was afraid of that. Man. That's what I get. That's what I get. Those are herbs. It's still like that? Oh, wait. Mr. Yachty used to play Team Fortress 2 a lot back in the day, and the hat economy in that game was wild. People trading items to buy crate keys for the chance to unbox a 40,000 virtual hat. I was extremely tempted once to like spend $600 to get the black Alistar skin in League of Legends, which was only available from like specific like beta versions of the game. But thank goodness I did not do that. And part of the reason why I was so tempted was because I played a lot of Alistar back in the day. But then they also reworked him apparently. Like I tried to replay League of Legends a couple years back, and Alistar didn't play like I remembered, and that like really threw me for a freaking loop. So I feel extra vindicated for not succumbing to the desire to spend a stupid amount of money on a completely irrelevant digital purchase. I say that, but it's not like I didn't buy skins for League back in the day at all. The way that I justified it to myself, generally speaking, is I felt as though I would get a full AAA title game's worth of content out of League. So if I got that much enjoyment from the game, I didn't necessarily mind spending an equivalent amount to like give back to the devs. So I would probably spend like $30 or $60 total, maybe once a year. Although I don't even remember how much I actually gave to League, but definitely not a lot. And that's just kind of how I am with like a lot of... can I even call it an MMO? I don't really know what to call it. But just like those style of games, like live service games, there you go. So like Path of Exile 2 or Path of Exile 1 is one where I'm like that as well, where like I'm like, okay, yeah, I played this game a lot this year. I felt as though I've got my money's worth. I like the direction the devs are trying to take the game, so I'll go ahead and support them, you know, with like $30, because that's about like, you know, a game on sale, you know, or 60 if I'm feeling like extra generous. Yeah, I really don't go overboard with that stuff at all, because I'm a bit of a cheapskate, to be honest. I feel like jumping down is a trap. Aren't the COD all into special weapon skins sell for the big bucks? I have no idea. I've never played any of the CODs that like had those kind of systems in them. Okay, so we're on the left side now. Then there's a chimney. It's locked. Yo, why are the Merg houses here kind of nicer than some of the ones in I Know a Village? Do you know a village? Oh, it's the cell, the prison.
Look! The fearless one is too stupid to make an escape. Instead, he has returned here to die! Attack!
Uh-oh, they sent 4 this time. It's over, guys. How did that one live? Mighty fine handiwork there. Would you mind letting a fellow furthest one out? Whew. I was beginning to get a little worried there. Thanks for springing me, fella. He is sprung. That's like a little bed alcove. That's kind of cute. Oh, he was a keysmith, wasn't he? Yeah, I figured. I got my tools back, but if we try to make a break for it, we're certain to be captured again. Wait, I know. I'll wait until the dirty rodents fall asleep. They must sleep sometime. Once they're out, I'm sure I can get away unscathed. It's locked. Well, at least until I apply my world-renowned talents to this pitiful security trifle. Look. So he can probably open the big door that was closed before, I'm assuming. You're not sure about COD, but you know they tried that in Payday. Gacha games are the whole level of psychosis into that very problem. Yeah, that's why I don't really mess with the gacha games. It's also super ironic to me that gacha is like a Japanese term, is so similar to like gatya in English. Because I mean, if they get you, you know? You're so glad you're not one of those people who gets hooked on the cosmetic stuff in games. Yada made $300 off TF2 once just for the fact he have had the game for so long. Some of the items he accumulated over time ended up being valuable. Yeah, sometimes it's like that. I like to get a lot of, maybe not like a lot, but I tend to like a lot of seasonal stuff. So I've always been a huge like fan of like Halloween type stuff. So for like League of Legends, I got like the zombie brand skin and whatnot. And of course they've had so many years of the game out now. I'm sure whoever's really wanted it has gotten it. But I know I got like the rare badge for like essentially buying the zombie brand thing when it came out the year that it did. Like the little profile icon thing. And it's kind of weird how sometimes like silly things like that can end up like having value to some people. So where did our dude go? So he wants them to fall asleep. Maybe I should just, yeah, I may as well check all the houses before the big one. Stella's sitting on games that she could easily get 100 for, that they got for dirt cheap or free, even though you can just emulate them for free anyway. Yeah, so Suikoden 2 especially was like one of those games that was extremely expensive for a super long period of time. Especially if you get like mint copies of like those super old games, they can really be worth a decent penny, a pretty penny. Like the Fort Knox of gaming. If only you had a copy of Kuon or Haunting Ground, you could be loaded. Gonna be honest, you don't trust him since he called himself a fearless one. He put it in quotes, his air quotes. If you're around long enough and value trinkets the whole time, those trinkets turn into treasures eventually. It depends. I mean, look at freaking Beanie Babies. I don't think they, those trinkets might not all be treasures. Maybe some of them are, I don't know, but man, back in the 90s, people were like banking their retirement investment accounts into Beanie Babies, and I wonder how they're doing now. Hey now, what's up? You're going to blow my cover. I decided to stay right here until the apes sleep. What? There's some door that won't open for you. Well then, where is it? Okay, I'm on it. Ain't a door been built that can stand up to my lockpicking abilities. Abilities was on a different line. I didn't mean to deliver it so strangely. You haven't been around, but is Surfer Dude still alive? Yes, yes he is, Vice, and welcome back to stream. Opinions on int dex builds and Elden Bling? I have no idea what you're talking about. Yes, Boner is still alive. Tower of the Great Tree. We gotta deal with all these enemies again. Wait, didn't the other one drop like a heart thing? Anyway, okay, whatever. So you bumped off those meddlesome monkey boys, eh? Good work. The less fur, the better, I say. But that's another story. Now it's time to show you that I got skills you've yet to appreciate. Deep breaths, guy. Chill with your Ritalin, buddy. It's kinda hard to concentrate with you on my bum. The locksmith jimmies the old lock, which makes a satisfying snapping noise as it acquiesces. The door is now open. There you are, my job is done, and a damned fine job if I do say so myself. If you need my services again, give me a holler. I'll be around. Count on it. Believe it! Int builds don't have as many fun stuff as faith builds, and dex builds are functionally for the smaller, faster weapons, which do better at status inflicting builds, but arcane scaling kinda sucks. Yeah, that's an interesting way you put that. That strength builds are the best, and you should unga your bunga whenever you can. Well put. Dex scaling weapon along with an int build. Yada says, you get the feeling that Boner is gonna die like that one guy in SpongeBob who got buried in sand when the tide was coming in? Oh. Wait, it's tracking me. This is not what I signed up for. Oh. So it doesn't like me jumping. Good to know. You wanna pelt your foes with magic rocks while moonveiling? The Cult Flamberge. Yeah, I do think arcane builds were kind of... Yeah, I don't know. Like, Elden Ring, it does offer a lot of variety, but I feel like some of those options end up being, I don't want to say like shallow, but not as robust as others. Oh man, I wasn't expecting that. So when I was first playing through Elden Ring, I was kind of initially expecting to work on like a strength and arcane build, because I saw the Reduvia and I thought it was badass. So I was like originally going strength, I think. Where's that thing coming from? Oh, maybe I need to move this. It's annoying. Anyway. I mean, I can't get that. It's annoying. So yeah, there's really not a ton of strength. This exceptionally sturdy. Alright, so my OBS crashed there. It says reconnection successful, so I'm just going to wait a couple seconds till I see my stream actually moving again. So I just got a Gilded Falcon. Let's see if I start moving on screen. Okay, it looks like we're live. So, I don't know exactly when I got cut off, because it feels like I'm remaking the same point over and over now, but yeah. By the time you can actually really get a strength/arcane weapon, it kind of feels pretty late in the game. So I just wish Elden Ring did a better job of making more builds accessible earlier on than it does. So yeah, as for like my actual opinion of like int and dex builds, I don't really have like strong opinions. I always just tell people to like use what they want to use, which kind of sounds like a cop-out answer, but I mean, I really do believe that. Like, you should just enjoy what you want. And I haven't really, like, the closest I've come to using that is with the like scavenger curved swords. Oh, and Hoarfrost Stomp back when it was super broken in like 1.0 and whatnot. Strength builds have always taken more strategy and brain power since your attacks are slower, take more stamina, and require a longer commitment. That's not necessarily true. Like, not all strength weapons are slow, but certainly all like Unga Bunga ones are, like the dual handing things. Oh, so I'm back over here. I don't think these chests were here originally. Oh yeah, they were, because I couldn't like jump up there. This is so strange. So it wants me to go this way, which is where I was. Oh, and then, yeah, okay. So I may as well talk to the dude again about the key. If he's still around, which he said he would be. Not in this house, at least. Holy damage builds will never be as viable as dark builds were in Dark Souls. Well, do you want them to be? I mean, Rot Breath was a problem for a long time. Like, they can be viable to certain degrees, but you don't want things to be as strong as Dark Bead was. Yeah. Maybe Mr. Yada was in stream when I talked about it earlier, like the rumors of the DLC. Part of the reason why I'm extremely skeptical about it is because it doesn't make any sense for me for them to like release the DLC this soon without an announcement to capitalize on holiday sales for Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and all that other stuff. It just does not make sense to me, but you know, I could be wrong. That's how you played Demon Souls, giant sword with int scaling. You could one-shot all the mobs while using the cool utility and poison spells. You forgot to put any points into health and got one-shot by everything? My man, as is tradition. So it looks like I'm gonna like fall through 3 times. So I fell on the right. Let's fall on the left. Alright, 1 guilder. Yeah, the DS1 Dark Wraith sets are pretty cool. You agree it doesn't make much sense? I mean, I'm happy to be wrong about that. You really wish that the red hand had been better, like the life draining fist? Or do you mean like as a shield option? Because I could see both. Kinda wish this dude had a shield. I was afraid I was going to miss the drop. Only for 30 gilder. Both? You wanted to be a damned vampire knight? What are you talking about? You could, drain the humanity of a replete saint, right? Darth Vader shield hands. This thing is with Steam is that it could mean literally anything. It could very well be a back-end update to the game to support DLC. But that doesn't actually mean it's going to come out soon. As far as I'm aware, I've heard that it's supposed to be an easy anti-cheat update. It had like nothing to actually do with the game. Or is that what they want us to think? I don't know. Oh, no, I didn't ever find the dude. That's my mistake. Oh, wait. Oh, so I should have... Okay, so I do want to fall down one more time. And it's kind of annoying. Oops. Maybe it would have been faster if I just like kept going up. I don't know. This is working so far, relatively speaking. Use the anti-cheat with the day prior. You don't think it lines up with the changes to Steam that happened today? Oh, maybe. Either way, you're not holding your breath? Yeah. And don't forget, there's a Spellbound news, right? I don't know. I still walked up into it. Oh, did they respawn? I shouldn't be surprised. Interesting. So there's like a rock thing. That feels like a trap. I'm pretty sure the DLC is just adding in the giant mushrooms from DS1. About time those guys got a revamp. Yeah, it's kind of funny because like a lot of the skeletons of prior enemies you can definitely make out in the current enemies of Elden Ring. But the Mushroom Boys are not one of them, huh? Glaive Master Hodier confirmed for Spellbound. Feels like it could be Mimic Central. Strength Tannic. Not worried about that. Herb. It's kind of weird, like how packed like some healing items are in like different sections of the game. What is going on? Oh, that was interesting. Okay. I'm just gonna take the L. because I don't feel like waiting. Wait, is that even worth it? No. Do I need to fall down to get up there? What is going on with this funhouse here? I deserve that. Oh, this is what I get. I was looking at chat. Okay, I think I could make that jump. Should have been able to make that. Okay, I get you. Now it's open on the right. Out of everything they took from DS3 for Elden Ring, you don't know what possessed them to take the thralls and the gargoyles? They thought they were cool is always a good answer. Yep. Unironically true. That's kind of how I always really approach everything at the end of the day with the FromSoft games, where it's like the rule of cool is the ultimate decision maker. Oh. Okay, well, I ended up going where I wanted to. Hey, we got a key. Okay, maybe we didn't actually need our dude. I was just about to mention that I felt like I might have been going a bit too far, because I still hadn't opened that other door. Herbs obtained. The question is, how do we actually get back to that door? Okay, no. So we gotta go all the way up to the top. Oh no, I should have jumped down. I thought there was something else up there. Hopefully that wasn't too important. I probably was, because we got like 3 murlocs. Oh wait, was that the room I just came from? Maybe it was. Yeah, I wonder if part of the reason why I don't use, or hold on, like why I run into the issue of having like unusable healing items is just because I'm like taking too much time to like break open bushes and whatnot. Are we cool yet? No. Without Horns is co-oping through Elden Ring with a newbie to Souls, and you're surprised how viable his only guard, never dodge playstyle is so far, at least for co-op. Oh yeah, for co-op it'd be great. As long as they could maintain aggro, which if you give them the item to do so, you know, you could pretty much power through the game that way. So I didn't go up the stairs. Or did I? No. I heard the squeaks of the monkeys. It's gotta be timed. Yep, okay. Wasn't too bad. You know shields are the better option, but you can't give up your knife parries. Yeah, so I abused the hell out of guarding when I played through Dark Souls 1 my first time, as opposed to actually like, getting good and like learning to parry or dodge, really. That was a Bloodborne experience. What is this, Sekiro? Almost. Oh no, if that was the key room, I still needed the dude.
You dare to come this far, furthest human? We will smash you into fillets.
Oh, they've got a different kind of projectile with their knives. Oh, that one was tankier. Oh, maybe it's because I didn't actually have the ring on. Ooh, we got a fancier key. The elevator key was obtained. It took you several playthroughs of Souls to even try parrying, but once it clicked, it clicked. I didn't parry until Gwyn because I don't remember how like I knew that you could parry the hell out of Gwyn, but yeah, that's kind of like where I figured it out, which is kind of ironic. To go through that entire game, not parrying, and then to do it against like the boss that's probably the most difficult if you can't parry. Alright, so we got the elevator key. I think that's pretty much it. You're so bad at parrying. It can be rough. And you said you had issues with Sekiro too, right? You might need to unironically, like, calibrate your TV settings and whatnot. Without Horns' friend wanted to do a cleric support build, but has since decided that all the multiplayer healing options suck and going big sword and board, but hasn't decided what kind of end build he wants yet. It's understandable. Chadwick is a dodger. You'd rather not get hit. You were / are dog doo-doo at Sekiro. So, I don't know. Like, Sekiro, obviously, you kind of have to not dodge. You have to parry, which I think is kind of like a flaw to force that, to pigeonhole that kind of playstyle to a degree, but there's also a decent amount of dodging and weaving in Sekiro, which I do think it's a bit overlooked, because you do need to dodge like the grab attacks, and Mikiri counters are a kind of form of dodging, but they're also like a parry. I don't know. I really wish that they could have incorporated the Goomba Stomp, Mikiri counter, and limb breaks into Elden Ring, and then, oh man, the combat in that game could have been so much better. Which isn't to say that it's bad, but I just wish they took some of the lessons of the previous games and applied them forward. Madam Butterfly made you quit? That's understandable, yeah. If you're going to quit anywhere, I could definitely see it being either her, Raging Bull, or Genichiro. The third eye-opening moment in Souls for Yada was learning to not dodge and just walk backwards. Yeah, you don't always have to dodge to not get hit, but it was the second boss. It was nonsense. Yeah, I felt like that fight was way rough. I ended up cheesing her because, yeah, maybe I won't say the strategy to do it just to not like ruin it for Chadwick, but yeah. I felt like I ended up cheesing her, but like not really. So it really took me getting to Genichiro to get my ass handed to me to really like fully come to terms with the basic control schemes of Sekiro. Ruin it. So basically, if you go up to Ocho Dono and attack once, she'll parry, and then I think she tries to like counterattack. But if you step to the left while she's counterattacking, you can like evade it, and then you can like hit her directly. And so you could just like, you can kind of get her in a loop where you hit once, move left, and hit again, and she just kind of gets stuck in it. So I like kind of inadvertently discovered it. You hate that you're bad at it? You want it too much? Okay. Alright. So, this is going to be the end of the stream for today. Thank you all for joining me. Chadwick, if you do have some more difficulties with Sekiro, I will tell you, like, the actual pro strat in Sekiro is to stay aggressive. So, basically, there's a lot of sound cues in the game that can help really guide you through it and make it a lot easier. So, when you're striking an enemy, you typically have 1 to 3 attacks that you can do kind of for free that the enemy will begin to parry, but they'll make like a harder parry sound when they're going to counterattack, and so that means you like dodge out of the way or parry their counterattacks, and it's really, I don't know, it has a good ebb and flow to it once you like kind of actually fully understand all the mechanics and whatnot. But oh man, is the actual skill floor really high for a FromSoft game. Alright, so that'll be it for me for tonight. I thank you all for joining me, and hopefully we'll be able to get through the rest of the Merg Village in tomorrow's stream. And I'm assuming maybe Torla Mountain after that, but we'll see. Alright, we will be going live again at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you in the next stream. Till then, stay safe, take care. Last Protagonist out.